Hello everyone, and welcome to another devlog for Bottled Sky, the game where you can fly in one direction forever and see nothing but an abundance of asteroids and this endless pinkish-purple nebula cloud in the background. That's what I'm hoping to change with the latest feature, BIOMES. I teased this feature a few weeks ago in the Bottled Sky Discord server, but no one was able to guess what was coming. If you want to get early teasers for future videos, then join the Discord server linked in the description. First off, what is a biome? A quick Google search tells me that it is a large naturally occurring community of flora and fauna occupying a major habitat. In the context of a video game, a biome is usually presented like that. But what's more important is how the player interacts with those unique qualities, which sets it apart from other areas in the game. My main goal for biomes is to create unique challenges that test the player in ways you might not find anywhere else. Couple that with unique rewards, and that should get the player more excited to explore the world. I have written up a bunch of ideas for what kinds of biomes might be interesting to encounter, but for just this video I'll be making one simple biome as a proof of concept to mess around with before I make more. A secondary, but still very important goal is to give the game more visual diversity. A big reason why I haven't set up a Steam page yet is because most of the screenshots I could take of the game now will look very similar at a glance, hurting the chances for gaining wish lists. You can see that even if I just change the background colors of the space gameplay screenshots, it already looks like the game has much more variety. By now, you might be wondering, what kinds of biomes would be in a game set in space? It is true that biomes are typically represented as environmental differences such as forests, deserts, snowy tundras, and volcanic mountains. However, since my main focus is gameplay, and this is a fantasy game, biomes don't need to be realistic, natural, or even have flora and fauna. A lot of the game's story is focused on people, so having man-made biomes will help with world building and storytelling. The first biome I'll be making will be called a scrapyard. You will occasionally find the remnants of a large ship, or maybe a fleet of smaller ships. Pieces of the wreckage are floating around and can be drilled just like asteroids to salvage materials. There is no immediate danger as you won't find much wildlife here, but there is a sense of unease as you drift through the graveyard of metal corpses. The dust seems to dull the vibrant colors of the distant nebula. The punctured holes and twisted steel make you wonder what kind of battle took place. Did a group of ships fall through a wormhole to this place just like you did? Perhaps the crew panicked and fired on one another. Or maybe some opportunistic mutineers took advantage of the sudden loss of control. Maybe they were victims of an ambush. Your shuttle's sensors aren't detecting anyone else around you, but there's still a sense of dread you can't seem to shake, which makes you question, are you really safe? It seems so. For now. This is just a tech demo and isn't the final version of this biome. Since it will have some relevance to the story, I'll save the finished version for release, but I'm sure I'll be showing off other biomes in these devlogs before then. There are a number of new bits of tech that are ready and will work for every new biome from now on. Firstly, this pattern I showed earlier is based on a mathematical algorithm which has allowed me to define distinct areas in the game and adjust the world generation to spawn unique entities in those areas. It's all deterministically random, meaning that it is reasonably unpredictable by me or the players where biomes can be found and which biomes they will be. It also means that it is consistent. Every time you enter and leave the guild, the main world is unloaded and reloaded, but all of the biomes should remain exactly where you found them without impacting saving and loading times. You can re-explore these biomes if you need more of its resources, although I'll be making certain unique resources only available to collect once, so you can't keep leaving and returning and must instead explore to find another similar biome. Next, I now have more controls over where entities can spawn. Previously, entities would spawn everywhere within a specified range from the guild, but now I can also set entities to only spawn in certain biomes. The combination of these two things allows me to have some variation between biomes of the same type, by allowing entities to spawn or not spawn depending on how far away the biome is from the guild. However, it is easier and probably better if I just create a biome version 2 of sorts if I want that kind of variation, and biomes themselves can also have a distance limit like entities. Thirdly, Biomes can have their own background objects, much like the planets you occasionally find in the background. These are not interactable, but it adds a bit of extra flavor to a biome. These are just a few temporary sprites I quickly drew, but I can absolutely see this looking a lot better with the help of a dedicated artist. Finally, each biome can have their own color scheme. When the colors dimmed upon entering the scrapyard, this wasn't an effect I added to the video. It's built into the game. I could expand on this color scheme further, but this is already a great improvement. This is how I got those different colored screenshots from earlier in the video. I'm really happy with how this feature turned out, and I'm excited for how much potential it will bring to exploration. It was definitely a challenge to create. If this stuff also interests you, then don't forget to join the Bottled Sky Discord server linked in the description. I'm always open to chat about the game there or in the comments below. If you want to be notified about future videos, then consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, that's all for now, and I'll see you later.